Hi everybody and welcome to this video. This is Heal Your Broken Heart. Pick a card and you can pause the video, meditate on it and pick either 1, 2, 3, 4 or 5. I'm going to also lay out the tarot, and for the bundle I'm going through each again so you remember the number that you picked. And I cast the runes to give you more information and guidance around the cards you chose. Okay, so let's get started with number 1. So Heal Yourself reading cards. I'm using the deck, the Oracle deck. And in that deck you're getting Soulmate. And you also get flowers in the Life Purpose deck. And the reason I wanted to use Life Purpose deck was to get some real steps that you can take. Like you can hold an idea in your mind, but you can also take these steps as well. Together it's going to be really powerful. It says working with flowers opens your heart and brings blessings to others through your life purpose. So, and then you got Odin. So with these 3 cards together, what they're saying is, for some of you, you could have lost a soulmate and you're grieving even a death of a soulmate. And that, you know, it could indicate also that you haven't completed the grieving process. Maybe you felt like you were one person, not 2. So you could feel like with this person gone, maybe this person is still alive, but with this person gone, it is still like you're not a whole person, like you're just half a person. Get your soul fragments back. Ask the Creator to bring you your soul fragments back from that relationship and from that person. You can still have the cord of unconditional love. That cord is never broken anyway, and you can put your awareness on that cord, the love you share. But get back your soul fragments and do a this is part of the soulmate course. It's also part of the bundle as well. You do a soul healing meditation afterwards. For some of you, this will be about manifesting new love. And it can also be about manifesting new love after having had a very intense romantic experience. So they're saying again, get your soul fragments back, do the Heal the Broken Soul exercise. You don't have to do anything. It is all you have to do is ask, and the Creator will do it for you. It's a good idea to do it before you go to sleep. You visualize your soul fragments coming back, and while you're close to going to sleep, your mind is very open to receive healing. You'll go into a theta brainwave, and you also ask to heal your soul. So Creator will visualize energy swirling around your soul anti-clockwise, and it goes around and around and around and around, and all the cracks and everything, that all the pain and grief, your soul gets restored again. You can do that every night until you feel that your energy and your strength has come back to you, and the energy in your eyes will change as well. Flowers, working with flowers, this basically means you respect yourself and your sensitivities. You could be feeling that there's a lot of harsh energies around you now, and you want to be around people that are going to be gentle. Many of you feel also that you need extra protection now. That's why you got Odin. Some of you could have been hurt badly by someone who did wrong things by you. I'm getting Page of Swords in the block position, and Page of Swords is a very good card to get, but when it's blocked it turns into someone who can be very hurtful, very demanding, very demeaning person, very demeaning. And they're saying you're a Queen of Cups person, but that's, even if you're a male watching this, it speaks of your sensitive nature, your true nature. And you need to be around people who share the sensitivities. You say you're an old soul who been through a lot from an early age, and you need to respect your boundaries and only be around people who's going to be of high vibration. You get Six of Pentacles here in recent past, so that means you're a very giving person. You get the World into the future, so that's like you're going to step back into the world again, and many of you could possibly even be moving. You get Queen of Pentacles as you. So when you get double Queen in a reading, it basically means that you know who you are. You are a very intuitive person, and you know who you are. You trust yourself. Okay, so I get in others position, and when we talk about the heart connection, this is someone you're gonna you're either in a relationship with now, or you're gonna be in a relationship with. So this is your spouse or your future spouse. So there's going to be a deep commitment there. And you get confusion in the surprise position, but the confusion is being artificially created by another person who's deliberately messing with you. They're deliberately trying to destroy your trust and make you confused. Okay? So they're saying that this is where you need to connect with. If you're in a relationship with someone who is loving, they say connect with the person that you're meant to be with, and don't let anyone confuse you and play mind games with you. Being with a soulmate is what will heal your heart, but I think there could have been a fake soulmate in there as well. You get King of Cups as the final card, so that is someone who is your friend, who you can trust. If you haven't met that person yet, this is your journey now. For those of you who have been with someone who passed away, I feel like you could feel like there's like unfinished business, and they say you can use your intuition and your psychic ability to communicate with this person, and so that you feel like you get a closure. For some of you, it's the healing is around a past relationship, but I feel like you could have been manipulated badly in this relationship, and you feel like, and this could go all the way to childhood, and it could be even with one of your parents. It could have been a lot of deception and lies. And they're saying someone is spying on you, most likely. So it's really important now to have boundaries, close down. Close down those opportunities where someone can spy on you, including social media. You don't have to close down your social media, but put on the privacy setting, maybe change your name on there. Don't give out any personal information with people. Go and look through your friend list. You know who they are. If you don't know who they are, just unfriend them, because it could be a false profile that someone is using to spy on you. Things like that. Be very careful now with who you trust, and focus on the relationship in your life that you know are real and pure. There is a soulmate connection in your life that is real, and focusing on that and building on that will heal your heart. Because I feel like when someone's been manipulated by someone who is the personality of a Page of Swords, not upright, like either reversed or crossing like this, they can end up leaving you just filled with shame and regret and guilt and all these things that they basically mess with your head really bad. And they're saying what you need is focus on King of Cups, a friend who some of you are also in a relationship with. Some of you will meet this person, haven't met yet. But it's all about preparing you now for your future. And for a lot of you, the soulmate connection is also going to be part of who you're going to work with as well. So that's exciting. Okay, let's go to the next one. So if what I say jumps out at you as this is really for you, then you know it is your message. If something isn't connecting with you, then that is then a message for somebody else. But with the first one, what I feel is common for most of you is that finding out what is real love versus fake love, as someone could have. Some of you, actually a lot of you, I feel in group 1 have been manipulated into believing someone who was a liar, and then coming back from that in some way. You're a very sensitive person. Okay, group 2. Group 2. Okay, so for group 2, it's about identity. This is letting go here. You're letting go with Heimdall, observe, with career change. So you could have been really like hung up in your identity of who you think you are. And maybe that identity, maybe you've outgrown that to some extent. And maybe there's more to you than you realize. The same, like you're observing now your options. And you're really thinking about life choices and what you should do with your life. There's going to be an opportunity for you to have a complete change in lifestyle and career. I feel to have a much more relaxed life. They say you need to let go of the fears of what's going to happen. Also let go of the past where there have been mistakes have been made, and maybe you are terrified of making similar mistakes or making an error of judgment. And the people around you as well, I feel like you're kind of looking at them a bit more suspicion than maybe you normally do. But everything that's happened to you is there to teach you something very important about yourself that you otherwise would have missed. I feel like this is a very personal journey you're on now, and you're really letting go a part of who you thought you were, so that you can discover something new about yourself that is really exciting. Let's find out more. And there's going to be new excitement and new adventures. It's going to be more fun. So you get the Lovers in current positions. I mean, you could deal with some questions of the heart and decisions when it comes to the heart. They're saying you're really afraid, I think, of letting yourself. There could be some issues with intimacy. You get 4 of Pentacles, sort of like as the obstacle, and that can be sometimes this shows up when people are really internalized and they're scared of letting go of control. You know, they're scared of losing themselves in a relationship. They're scared of letting someone close. So they're saying you have so much to offer. So if you, instead of thinking you're going to let someone close, like, and all the angst and the fears around intimacy, just look at all the things that you have to offer and how much joy that you can offer someone and you can share with somebody. That's going to change things around for you. I say you're always full of energy. This is you as a child, Knight of Wands. So it's like full of energy, ready for the next adventure. 8 of Cups. You could have had a real life-changing experience. Something has changed. Maybe it wasn't overnight, but slowly things changed for you. And now you want to live much more like soulful. You want to go back on an adventure, but you want to do more with your soul, kind of like thinking about everything and sharing, but asking all the big questions. So it's a dream of yours that's been playing on your mind that you're going to realize. And this is something your soul is ready for as well. You're going to be pushed to do this. You get the Chariot here in the future. And Ace of Wands, so you really feel like the time is now very close. 7 of Swords is in others' position. And that's where you feel sometimes that people around you are out of integrity, that you can't trust them, that you don't know what they're up to, and that maybe they possibly could be stealing from you or not playing by the rules. surprise position is Queen of Swords. So that means that someone could tell you something, something that you need to know that's maybe it's a bit hurtful, like a truth maybe that is a bit, maybe you wanted to hear it in a different way, but it's something that is very enlightening. So once you know it, it's going to be so much better because it's a truth that has to be told, kind of thing. And it's about how something is going to come together that you didn't understand, and maybe you felt like you had to sacrifice too much, or maybe you felt like you had to do everything yourself, and then you realize that there is someone else who feels very similar to you, who has some valuable information for you, that's going to help you move forward. Who's looking at everything you're doing and observing, but I feel observing very much a little bit from a distance. I feel like there's it's someone you're in a relationship with, or someone very close to you, who you've been going about things very much as two individuals, and it's a time that you now start pulling together. You're different, but your differences are also part of, I feel, your strengths. You get the strength here in the final outcome card, and with the strength card it means your true passion, your true what you really want to do and what you really care about. And it's going to be a strong focus on doing the things that makes you excited about life. And when it comes to this Seven of Swords in Others position, this is where you need to work with someone who probably shares a lot of the same intimacy fears, like fears of intimacy, fears of getting hurt. That's what you do. But I feel like it is actually Queen of Swords. And it's like once you communicate with each other better, a little bit better or more honestly, you actually only realize that you share everything, you share the same goals and everything that you want to do, basically. You're going to move much more in the same direction. So that was the second one. So the second one, it's about communication, I feel, and it's been some miscommunication and a lot of internalizing, but you both have done that. Now if you're single, this could be someone coming into your life who's a very strong individual. So two strong individuals coming together that finding that heart connection. Your barriers are you both have the barriers up. So finding that heart connection through communication, that is what will heal your heart. For both of you, I feel. Okay, 3. Okay. So you get home and you get crystals with Hella. What will heal your heart? So if you've been feeling restless, if you've been feeling that you don't know where you belong, if you feel like you don't belong here, many of you will feel like you don't belong here, this is not your real home, the people you're around are not your real friends, no one understands, home is somewhere else, some other part of the world, or for some of you it's going to be the other side, wanting to not even really live anymore, like having, maybe not being suicidal, but not having a great, not feeling that life is really the most important thing at this stage. Maybe you're longing to be home with God, wanting to go to heaven, wanting to be with your angels, wanting to be in back in your soul family. So for a lot of you, you could be feeling that your soul family even is not even here. And if you have had connections with people, then maybe you feel like they have been they haven't really been, those relationships have maybe not lasted, or they haven't been strong enough on this plane, and the connection you feel to them, it could never really materialize properly here. So you feel like it's much more on a mental plane, like a spiritual plane. Crystals will help you heal, because that will bring in the vibration of heaven. And there's a lot of information stored in crystals. If you're a sensitive person, you can feel the information, and you can be very much awakened by the vibration in crystals. And they brighten you up as well. They brighten up the room, they brighten up your mood. I feel like you feel that you very much think differently to everybody else, and you feel like your worldview might not fit the worldview that, if you step into the world more, you feel very inexperienced in some sense. You get Page of Pentacles here in situations, so it's like you want to be more part of things, but you feel a bit overwhelmed with what is there. And then you get Two of Pentacles in block position. That means that finding your true passion, finding what you really want to do with your life, especially when it comes to jobs and earning money and feeling really interested in it. Maybe you feel like you're interested in it for a while, or maybe you feel like you lose a bit of interest quickly as well. This also shows up when people feel like it's kind of meaningless to just go to work earning money, coming back home, go back to work earning, like it's that whole routine of life, it gets a bit meaningless. It's very mundane, and the mundane doesn't interest you. Two of Pentacles also can mean that you feel like people aren't being honest, and you feel like if you're gonna get anywhere or get to know people, or even get something out of a situation, you feel like you can't be honest yourself either, that everything is a game, and that you get tired of playing that game. It turns into manipulations, and all you want to do is rest. Get Four of Swords here. You want things to be easy, and you want things to be, you want to be able to rest now. But as a child, I feel like you were completely different. There's been a shift here. As a child, I think you were very passionate about life and living, and you had great optimism. And where you are at now, we're going to look at that a bit more, but where you're at now is there to teach you something very important. And once you get a lesson, I think things will get a lot easier. Three of Cups, this is your people around you that, this could be people in your soul family, I feel, as well, that are there for you. Could be 2 or 3 people that this Three of Cups here represents, that makes you feel good. Judgment here, so something's going to happen, there's going to be a real awakening, a real shake-up in your life. Your true purpose will be revealed, because you can't be in this mindset you're in now. You can't stay in that for much longer. Creator will shake you up, but that shake-up has already started, and that's why you are here watching this video now, because there's a part of you that are calling out for answers. The answers that you're seeking are all within you, but you also have to be willing to change, because you're going to have to change something about how you look at things, about how you go about things. Creator will shake you up and make an opportunity for you, but you're still the one that has to go through with it. 9 of Cups. So this could mean there is a part of you is very stubborn, and you're very happy with a lot of things you're happy with, and I think the fear is to lose. So it's not like you're not motivated so much by gaining something new. You are very you're motivated by more the fear of losing what you have. But things are changing, and someone very important to you has started moving his or her lives in a direction that maybe is troubling to you or that you don't understand. This person is doing so because it's their journey and they have a dream they need to fulfill, and it's very important to them. The star, so something unexpected is going to happen. The star is that is part of the meaning, is something unexpected. It's like it's something impulsive. Someone's going to do something impulsive, or something happens because people were impulsive. It's like something that almost feels unachievable. Suddenly it's going to motivate you, something that it's going to be a goal of yours, and it's going to change a lot of things for you. And in the final card you get 4 of Cups. So that is a mindset of feeling very like you're happy with what you've got, but when it's about, and you also want change, but you're not so willing for change because you're afraid of losing what you've got. But I say there's going to have to be a change, because at the moment you've been thinking more and more about spiritual things, but more spiritual things that you feel like you can't have while you're here. So they're saying that's where you need to change your mindset. You know, Hella is like heaven on earth, hell on earth. And sometimes we think if you're going to have heaven on earth, we can't be here. And it's all part of it, you know, it's all part of it, the whole package. Life can be both of these things. And the reason we enjoy life and the reason we don't enjoy life is a lot of how we're thinking about things. So they're saying you need to learn to trust. You need to learn to trust the Creator more. There's a distrust there, because I feel like you don't think deep down that Creator can love you, and therefore you think that you have to move forward in a way that you don't think deep down that Creator is going to support you or give you good things that you can keep, that is like for you, and that's including relationships. So they say when your trust in the Creator is restored, and that you will do, I feel, through meditation and prayers and dreams, and once that is in your heart fully, you will heal, and you will have the things in your life that you want the most. That will come to you then. But until then, they say to heal that broken heart, because you feel like God has forgotten about you and doesn't give you the things that other people have, and doesn't. And also, you put on a very brave face, and you don't show what's really going on, and you don't speak what's really going on. You say what you think is acceptable, but it's not honest. And I think that trust, once you get that trust going, and it's a spiritual thing, this is part of your spiritual lesson, things will move forward for you in really good ways. You get the bottom card here. So I'll do this. Knight of Swords. So it is all about changing your mindset, your belief systems. And that's why you are being guided to do all the things that you do in life, and especially spiritually. He said for you to regain the trust, but don't be, they say you cannot afford to be cynical. If you feel cynical, start with the cynicism and get rid of the cynicism. They say. Okay, 4. Oh, okay. You get rejection, that's the pain. So this is what you're healing. You're on the right path. So you have had some realization around someone. And this could be someone from another country, or someone who really understands you, I feel, spiritually. Maybe you also had a deep understanding of this person spiritually. This person you might not have met yet, but I feel like it is that spiritual connection, and it's a fear of being rejected. And also it's like that fear of being rejected for not being perfect. But then when you have a spiritual connection with someone, that is all that matters, and nothing else really matters. And when you love someone, you love them because of the spiritual connection you have with them, not because how they look or how much money they're earning. So they're saying someone could have made some comments about you that made you feel less worthy, that could have made you feel like you need to change. Some of that change was positive change, that you kind of felt like, you know, if you got really upset if someone said something to you, then you kind of examine why that upset you so much, and you went did a bit of a introspective dig on yourself. Like, if someone upsets you, why does that like if someone says something negative about you, if it upsets you, why does it upset you? It's their opinion and they don't know you. But if you hear it from someone you care about, it can really hurt. And if you feel like people reject you without giving you a chance as well, then and that you're always getting misunderstood as well, then that can really take a toll on your heart. And that's where I feel like you have had a lot of rejection, and it's people that didn't understand you. And also I feel like we look in the Celtic cross, but for some of you I feel this could also be a childhood thing, being very judged by one of your parents, and it could have set up a bit of a pattern as well with rejection, like feeling that you almost have to be rejected, like have an obligation to be rejected, and you take that with you into relationships where you're just waiting for the rejection basically, and it's very hard to form any kind of meaningful relationships. Okay, so they're saying there's a lot of energy in your life now. There's opportunities. You could be traveling. You get the journey overseas and you get another one. So for some of you, you could be traveling. You could be getting an opportunity to travel. You could also be very motivated to travel. And also they're saying to start making make some plans now. Make the plans. Set yourself some goals. You get 8 of Pentacles in the block position, which means that maybe you are not as organized as you could be at this stage. Maybe you're kind of making it up as you go, but they're saying you get a much better result if you get a bit more organized. You get 9 of Cups, so that means that the way ahead can be very much about going in the direction that you most desire, not just where you're kind of getting pulled into, like, you know. It's think about what you actually want, and without compromising, move in that direction without compromising. Okay, so you get Death in childhood. So whatever happened in your childhood, it really ended up defining you. Childhood could have been very difficult for you guys in this group, and I didn't look at the cards and I picked this group as well. I picked 4 so I'm giving myself a reading as well. There could have been a lot of rejection from parents and family and friends and relationships starting from a very early age. And now you get the Fool here in recent. So that means that you're kind of overwhelmed. The Fool is a fun card, but it's also when people have really no idea. They just go on faith and faith alone. And together with the Death card, it means that basically you're expecting rejection and you're hoping for the best. And when you don't experience it, rejection, you're happy about it. You're happy that you don't experience it, but you don't get too involved in anything. Not too deeply, because you know that rejection will soon follow, or sooner or later it will come. So it's like you just take the good times as as a moment as it was, but you don't allow yourself to feel too much or to read too much into anything. And they're saying this is from your childhood, okay? Future here, there could be a lot of travel coming up in your future. So this is also about loving yourself and loving your life and accepting yourself. For people who've gone through a lot of rejection, especially if you've been the scapegoat in the family, it's like that the black sheep, the scapegoat. If you have that, then you could be running and you could have that escapism, that you always have to escape and you always have to be on the run. And you're only going to be okay if you can always start new again somewhere and start over again. And it's very hard to settle in and settle down with anything. Knight of Swords as you. So you are changing a lot of belief systems and a lot of patterns. You are already now starting to change how you look at things. And you're much more of a challenging person. In the sense that you're not accepting so easily what you used to accept. When people told you things, you used to be very trusting and believe them as their opinions, kind of like, you felt like their opinion were better than your opinion, kind of thing. But I feel like you're learning now to, you're learning what your opinions are and what you think and believe about things. And you're not so accepting anymore of other people's stories or what they're telling you as necessarily the truth. You're much more of an investigator now. Something has happened that changed your worldview, I think, as well. So 4 of Pentacles, that means that the people around you, and this could be a partner, is very financially secure. And maybe you're around people who are very wealthy, and you created security for yourself because there wasn't security. So you want a certain type of person around you that is very stable. But sooner or later you're going to have to face, this is in the surprise position, 5 of Pentacles, you're going to have to face the part of you that didn't heal from rejection, okay? And 5 of Cups here. So this is old pain for a lot of you. Rejection. Okay, you could have been in a relationship where you have been rejected in many ways without breaking up, but just getting continuously rejected in a relationship. Rejected, your point of view could be rejected. You could your thoughts and feelings could be rejected. You could be rejected physically, criticized for every little thing. Whatever you've gone through, and from early on up until now, in regards to rejection, also where you haven't felt like people have trusted in you with responsibilities, and even just being allowed to make mistakes without it turning into a major event. Like some people do get judged a lot harsher than others, and it's almost like that whole black sheep archetype, and you carry that around, you end up the scapegoat in pretty much any situation, including like romance and work as well. So free yourself from the obligation of being the black sheep and the scapegoat. Free yourself from the obligation of being rejected. The lesson in rejection, I feel, is to learn what the difference is between fake love and real love. To know the difference and to know what true love feels like. So let's do a download. And everyone can do that. Everybody has a little bit of this in them. Some people have more than others. So if you picked 4, then Creator will install in you and only if you want to, only take this on if you want to, what true love feels like, and that you have true love, real love, that you know the difference between real love and fake love, and that you already know the difference, so you don't have to go through the life experience of learning it. That's a hard lesson to go through. Okay? make a heart connection and love your life. Make sure that the people you're around that you love them, because I feel like a lot of you were rejected a lot, and now you are also doing a lot of rejecting back. Like it's a kind of like a defense thing as well, and also maybe being around people that you feel that you can't connect with completely as well, because of the fear of rejection. So once you start settling in the love energy, you start attracting in people that you love as well, and that it's easy for you to love. It's very hard for people to love in group 4. So make it so it's easy to love in the highest and best way, with grace and ease. We ask the Creator, if you want this as well, you can say yes, to give us that ability and those feelings. Okay, so for group 5, we get temptation with travel, with lucky. So what that can mean is that it's that belief that the grass is always greener on the other side, and maybe someone is tempting you to leave something behind, and you think you're going to go to something better, but they're saying it's something false. So if that has already happened to you, then maybe that's what you're healing from. Or maybe you are in a situation now where you're being manipulated into not fully appreciate what you have, to not being able to live your life, to always have that someone tempting you to wish for something that maybe can't be, or makes you want to disconnect and leave where you are at. So let's find out. This is something that causes a lot of worries for you. I get bottom card 9 of Swords. So this is something that keeps you awake at night, and you're wondering about this. I feel like, so you're working away, and maybe, I don't know, with your routine, if you're happy with your routine, if you're very satisfied with it, but I feel like things were going good. And then I get the High Priestess, I get this crossed. So it's like someone who's almost hijacked your emotional and your subconscious and your emotional being. And they're able to make you feel a certain way. And you could feel very overwhelmed as well with emotions. And I feel like you feel like you want to pull away, but you don't know how. Get the Ace of Swords in advice, so that is just cut the cord and deal with truth only. And this is something that you can do. You get Queen of Swords in the childhood position. So this lesson you're in now has something to do with a female archetype in your life. Could be your mother that created, there's something in you that you want to escape from, and you want to be more whole and complete emotionally, and this situation is so tempting because you feel like it's going to give you that emotional wholeness that I feel could have been chipped away at, and you want to be more whole and complete as a spiritual person. And in the future you get the Tower, so the truth will come out. You'll see the truth in this situation, but it could be again a lot of upheaval. You get 5 of Wands, which is a lot of fighting and a lot of arguments and things like that. You get 6 of Pentacles in Others position. So I feel like there is someone there for you that is balanced and that you can lean on. If it is a soulmate, then this soulmate I feel is very patient. So your lesson is to know who is the real soulmate and who is the fake soulmate, I feel, and what is the real purpose of your life versus what is the fake. It's like knowing what is meant for you and what is not. 5 of Swords in Others position. no, not in others, but surprise positions. It's going to be a shock. Someone in your life is not what they seem, and it's someone who's tempting you. It's that someone's putting always a temptation dangling in front of you. You get the magician there in outcome. So I feel like you are someone very resourceful. And when it comes to love, you are someone who you are someone who I feel is very you are someone who's like a prize, almost like they look at you as a big prize to win, and that can cause problems because you are resourceful, you have a lot to offer. There's going to be suitors out there that looks at you as they look at you as a huge prize, but it's a selfishness that drives them to have you. It's very selfish. They don't, you know, you need to be with someone who sees you as a person, not just a prize to be won. They're saying that if you get involved with the wrong person, it could leave you just feeling completely like they say you could feel like you would just want to 100% just like give up on love altogether, like there's nothing left for you to give. Now if you have already been through this, maybe that's where you're at now, where you feel emotionally completely empty. But they're saying for you as well as group 4, you need to know the difference between real love and fake love. And the person I feel you're going to end up with, if you're not already in a relationship, the person I feel is going to be the right one for you is the one that really sees your talents and skills and who are very impressed with everything that you're doing. Who's very impressed by you, very proud of you. And someone who adores you and is genuine. It's like it's genuine adoration. It's genuine. Like this person is very genuine. So it's like seeing the genuine person and then recognizing where is the liar. This person that is genuine is very supportive of you. And doesn't want to sabotage you. The person that is not genuine is someone who's very, also very jealous of you and who likes to see you fail, even though it's like you're just there to make them feel good about themselves. And when you're achieving and you're doing really well on your own, they feel like they need to make you look bad, so that it's all back to, it's more about them. It's like they want you just there to make them feel good, whatever that means. And they're not too interested in seeing you succeed. So the people, and this goes with friendships as well. Friends that are genuinely wants the best for you, who wants you to succeed, who can see. Because I feel like people in this group are very talented and who have a lot to offer, and that brings in exploitative people as well. People that they can use that against you because they know that you're on the road to success, and they think, you know, that's something that they can use to get a partnership going with you, either business, colleague-wise, friendship-wise, or romantic. But then their motivation is really just for your success to be a reflection on them. They won't let you have the success for you, and that's what you need to heal. I feel like that betrayal of having the good parts of you being exploited, and also having your skills and talents exploited. So this could be a mean person operating in your life that is a very vicious character in some way, and if this has happened in your past, that's what you're healing. And they're saying get educated in deception analysis and anything to do with catching a liar and seeing deceit and spotting deceit, and that's going to do you the world of good, and that's going to actually help heal you and give you the confidence, because then you know you can move through life without and you'll be able to spot a liar straight away. There are people that will teach you how to do this that are experts, and this is something that will help you in business, in relationships, will help you know who you can trust. How to spot a liar is and know when someone is lying. It's incredibly important, because I feel like with you, this is actually that's good advice for everyone and anyone. But if you've been dealing with a lot of lies and deception, it's almost like that overwhelming defeat. And are there even any normal people left like that you can trust? You know, and if you're feeling like that, then it will empower you to train in deception and analysis. So I do recommend that for you guys. So, and that can even lead to a whole new career path as well, or even incorporate it in everything that you're doing, can enhance you. So, guys, now I'm gonna go and do the bundle, and I'm gonna do a rune cast for each one. So if you want to be part of that, you also get access to all of my courses. The link is in the description bar. Bye!